Life is all about wants and needs. While people might want a lot of things, sometimes the want and need do not match. Now we are here with a motorcycle. Now what has that got to do with wants and needs? Well, a motorcycle is a need for most of the people, but a motorcycle is also a want. Now, is the new Jawa Perak a want or a need? We are here to find out. But before we do that, do remember to subscribe to the Auto Today YouTube channel and press that little bell icon so that you get notified every time we go live with a new video. The northern summers are here. But you know what is hotter than the northern summers? The look of a bobber. Now if you look at this motorcycle, the Jawa Perak, this is envisaged as a bobber and a factory custom. And by the looks of it, it sure is a ravishing motorcycle. This is the kind of motorcycle you would love to keep on a pedestal and just keep looking at it. Just look at the overall design of the bike. Chopped front fender, check. Fat front tires, check. Nice looking dome headlight, check. A teardrop fuel tank, check. Lovely panel design, check. And a hardtail like rear end. So on the face of it, the Jawa Perak is a bike to die for. But what happens when we come closer? Now come closer, and there are few blemishes in this otherwise beautiful design. The paint job, let's start with that. Nice matte color, looks beautiful. But when you come closer, you will realize that these pinstripes look a bit odd. And even a slight drop of a key or something tends to scratch it. So a few more coats of clear maybe on top of this would have made it look so much better. Then there are the exposed wires and cables. I mean, there's so much of things going on here. This should have all been hidden. That's the true trait of a factory custom. And these are things which Jawa has missed out on a little bit here and there. I also love the seat. It's a beautiful looking seat. It looks really nice, and special mention to this tail light design. It's a nice covered design and it looks really nice. But what happens when you sit on it? I think I need to tell you some more. So why don't you come closer? Let me get on the bike and show you some other things. So let's start with the overall design of the Jawa Perak. Starting with the seating position. The Perak comes with a very low seat height, and that comes as a boon for shorter riders like me. So when I swing my leg over, it's very easy to get on the bike and it is very comfortable. You can see I can reach really easy, and that gives you a nice comfortable riding position. The handlebar too comes on to hand really easy. It's a nice riding position as of now. But the moment I lift my foot up like so, you can see that the pegs fall a little behind, and this becomes very uncomfortable for taller riders. This is especially the case because the tank is a teardrop and you don't have a grip or something here. So every time you brake, you tend to come forward. So it's quite odd, and long distance on this kind of a riding position can become a bit painful, and a brake here and there will be required to ease off your legs. The other thing I want to talk about is the complete lack of features on this motorcycle. Now the Jawa Perak costs about 2 lakh rupees, ex-showroom mind you. And for that kind of money, we expect a little more equipment. Like say for example, the headlamp is a halogen headlamp. The instrument panel is just a round dial with a speedo, a fuel gauge, and a digital display, a tiny digital display which has the odometer. There's no trip meters, there's nothing here. And the very odd thing about this design is the way the speedometer is positioned. So anywhere between 60 and 120, you don't know where the needle is. So it's very odd. So when you're riding, you need to glance up on the speedometer to see whether you are sitting at 80 or 100. I Again, this bike was designed from scratch. A little work towards bringing the speedometer maybe a little lower down, or maybe adding a tacho here, would have worked wonders for this motorcycle. But overall, I am happy to report that this bike has the looks to kill. But does it have the power and the performance as well? Let's find out. Let's talk about the engine, because that's where a little bit of trickery has happened. The Perak deploys the same engine as seen on the other Javas, but there is a catch. The engine has been bored out, and as a result, the one on the Perak displaces 334cc. It still remains liquid cooled and generates nearly 31 bhp and 33 Nm of torque. At lower speeds, things can be managed, but as the speeds climb, things get jittery. The lack of suspension travel at the back means that a nasty pothole can cause much pain to the rider. On the upside, the Perak feels rather agile in spite of its rather long wheelbase. The bike also loves corners, and we did have some fun around clover leaves. However, cornering clearance could be an issue thanks to those lowly placed, lovely looking slash-cut exhaust pipes. The engine does feel a bit scruffy and does not feel as the regular Javas. However, it offers good amount of power and the delivery is rather flat. But push the motor and it is all ready to play ball. On the highway, the Perak feels punchy enough to go the long distance, but the problem lies with its ride quality and the seating position which tires out the rider. But if you can bear with that, a long ride on the Jawa Perak can be rather enticing. The Perak then is a bike for a stag, a kind of person who rides mostly single up and does not go out on long rides. Short weekend rides are perfect sort of thing for the Perak. Needless to say, Jawa has been rather brave to address a segment not addressed by many. Considering the only other bobber in the market is nearly 6 times the price, the Perak seems to be a good buy.